Alright guys, let's get it started. Orlando and Memphis. Memphis is the home team here, but I do not think that they're the favorite for most people. Orlando is just a powerhouse team. Everything on offense is good for them, and on defense, you know, they got Terrence Garvin, Will Hill, Reggie Northrup. It's just their defense is so strong. They force turnovers. I don't think they're as good as San Antonio, but that's a different story. So we'll start off talking about the offense. Obviously, Garrett Gilbert, Charles Johnson at wide receiver, Jalen Marshall, Rennell Hall has emerged as a pretty good wide receiver. Running backs, D'Ernest Johnson, Devion Smith, and Akeem Hunt. They have been the stars of not only the Orlando Apollos, but the league. You know, they're getting lots of touchdowns. Devion Smith has like 5 touchdowns, 318 yards. D'Ernest Johnson has 348 yards. And they're all averaging around 5 yards per carry. Actually, D'Ernest Johnson is around 6 yards per carry. So good for him. And then the wide receivers, you know, this is just such a good Orlando team. It's hard to pick against them. Now we'll talk about Memphis. What makes this game so interesting is Memphis just beat Birmingham, a really good football team. I know lots of you don't think Birmingham is that good, but I think they're great. You know, they have had trouble over the past weeks, but they have gotten better. Brandon Silvers is a great quarterback. He had 2 touchdowns, 266 yards, and completed 68% of his passes. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, honestly, guys. And, you know, you have Johnny Manziel. Will they be splitting reps? I don't really know. I honestly think you go with the hot hand, Brandon Silvers. He's been playing pretty well. Got Reese Horn at wide receiver. He's been playing well. Kind of emerged these past couple of weeks as one of the better receivers in the league. Their defense is good in the pass coverage, but it's been getting worse in the run game. I'm going to have to give Orlando the edge here, 28-12. Now we'll switch gears to 2 teams who lost last week. Yep, that's San Diego and Salt Lake City. Both teams had really disappointing games. We'll get more into that later, but we'll start off with San Diego. Mike Bercovici, he's been playing pretty well. The only problem is, check his touchdown-interception ratio, 5 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. You can't be doing that in any level of football, really, turning the ball over more than you score. So that's been a problem for San Diego. Also, Jaquan Gardner, I'm pretty sure he is out, but he hasn't really been much of a threat in these past couple weeks. Terrell Watson and now Bishop Sankey have kind of emerged as the top running backs on this roster. Wide receiver, got Dantes Ford, who's been making lots of big plays, but it's Nelson Spruce who's been getting a bulk of the catches. So that's something interesting to look for. Nelson Spruce, he's been pretty good, and they also have Marcus Ball at tight end. You see there making the touchdown. He's been pretty good, but he had that stupid play where he dropped the ball in front of the end zone. Probably should have gotten called back. You got James at defensive back. Everybody has been talking about DeMontre Moore at defensive end. He's one of the best. Then A.J. Tarpley at linebacker. This defense is good. They just got destroyed against Arizona. And part of that was because turnovers late let the score get a little bit out of hand. But yeah, the Fleet aren't bad. They just had a rough game against Arizona last week. Now the Stallions aren't bad. They just had a rough year. So we'll start off talking about the defense because that's really the focal point of this team. It all starts with Carter Schultz on the defensive line. He plays defensive end. He has 7 sacks. He's probably the best or one of the best players in this league. He has 7 sacks. I mean, he is all over the field. When he's not getting pressure, he's being double teamed, letting other players on the defensive line like Purcell get sacks or get pressures or tackles for loss, whatever you want to call it. Luke Carazola has been great at linebacker. So yeah, we have a really, really strong defense. And now we'll talk about the offense. Oh, also, Cody Brown had a first pick last week, but he's been getting lots of tackles. Now let's talk about the offense. Nick Truesdale at tight end. He's the primary target. And then DeMornay Pearsonell has emerged in the past couple of weeks as another target. Joe Bonio at running back. And then Josh Woodrum at quarterback. Woodrum's been playing well this past couple of weeks. Other than that 3-interception game against Birmingham, he has been solid for this offense. The thing is, they just can't turn it over. I'm going to give them the edge here, 22-17 against the Fleet. The Legends visit the Iron, and in this game, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I picked the Iron. Aaron Murray has been struggling these past couple weeks. I don't know whether he or Matt Sims will start. Tarian Folston, Brandon Radcliffe need more carries. They've been running pretty well. They just haven't gotten any carries, mostly due to the fact other teams have been getting on such large leads against the Legends, and they've just been passing a lot more. Shontavius Jones, Malachi Jones, and Bug Howard are the main receiving threats. Tyson Graham on defense has been pretty good. Also Ed Reynolds. But I mean, I just don't see the Legends really competing with the Iron. It's going to be hard for the Legends to win this game. Although you never know. It's been different every week for lots of these teams. You know, the Iron didn't play well last week. The Legends could possibly pull off an upset. So let's talk about the Iron now. The Iron's offense kind of has switched places with its defense. The offense has gotten much better while the defense has stopped forcing turnovers. And, you know, they've played pretty well the past couple of weeks. Luis Perez, Trent Richardson, you know about them. Wes Saxton. The defense needs to get better, though. Jeremy Falk, Benequez Brown, those are your headliners. Max Redfield, Jonathan Massacoy. They got away from forcing turnovers. I don't know what happened to the defense overnight, but they used to force all these turnovers, and lately we haven't been seeing that. But we have been seeing the wide receivers getting more action, like with Damian Washington and Quentin Patton. I picked this game to be 31-9. Iron take the win. Now we have the game of the week. Yes, the Arizona Hotshots will play at the San Antonio Commanders. Now the Hotshots have become one of the hottest teams in the league these past 2 weeks, beating Orlando at Orlando and then just crushing the Fleet. I really think they have a chance here. John Wolford has been playing well. They haven't been passing as much. They've been running it a lot and finding lots of success in the run game. But that's where it's going to get difficult playing against the San Antonio defense. Jarrell Presley and Troy Cook are going to have to step up. They're going to have to score touchdowns on the ground to win this game. Rashad Ross has also been injured, so that's interesting. Will he be able to play with his injury and through his injury? You got Thomas Duarte at tight end. He's been playing well. Bundy at wide receiver. And then a guy we've been talking about all year is Richard Mullaney. But, you know, it's going to be hard without Rashad Ross to win this game against such an excellent secondary in San Antonio. On defense, really, this defense isn't incredible. They had a really good game last week, though. And I think it's because Steven Johnson came back. Ever since he's come back, this defense has really stepped up, and he came back at the Orlando game. He has 3 picks this year. Deshaun Downey has 3 sacks, so he's been pretty good on the D-line. And then Eric Dargan has 42 tackles. So you know the defense is playing well, and Arizona has a lot of momentum. Now San Antonio has tons of momentum. They had a really good game against Salt Lake City. That game came down to the wire. The wide receivers have always been, in my opinion, the best wide receiver group in the league. They're deep, and they're really going to challenge that secondary of Arizona. It's going to be difficult. Now we'll talk about the defense. Possibly the best defense in the league. In my opinion, it's because they forced the most turnovers. It is almost guaranteed that they're going to force at least 1 interception or fumble in this game. Now, you know, Logan Woodside, he did get injured last game, so that's something to look out for. But Marquise Williams came in. He's been playing pretty well. He won the game. Or really, I would say that Trey Williams won the game. It was kind of an easy pass, but Marquise Williams came in and played very well. So you don't want to take anything away from Marquise Williams. He's got great wide receivers, a great O-line, and it should be a great matchup, whichever quarterback you get. It would be a shame to see Logan Woodside not be able to play in this game because of an injury. Now, I think a main factor of this game will be the crowd. The crowd in San Antonio is going to be electric. They're going to have strength in numbers, and they're going to help this team win the football game. I have San Antonio winning 25-20, a tight game that San Antonio will win, and they're going to have to thank their crowd because those guys get out to the game and support their team. I hope you enjoyed the video today and the predictions. We'll be doing more videos this week and covering the Alliance of American Football. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below.